think it's going to be quite close. Oh my god.
Oh, we've got a full tuck sighting.
We have a full tuck.
Oh, that is a kill tip. I hadn't even seen that.
Woo woo.
We're good to go now on this match number 3 of our sudden death playoff matches in the Wingspan World Cup, going from the regionals into the finals, which is quite exciting. Today we have a matchup between BalletMage and DKWhetty. I've got G here with me commentating, but welcome Ballet and DK. How are you guys going?
Excited and nervous.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I'm very excited.
Fantastic. No, that's great. How are you doing,
Ready to
G?
go.
You ready for this?
I'm good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yep. We can hear you all nice and clear.
All right, ready to go. Excited.
Fantastic. All right. Well, good luck, Ballet and DK. Ballet, if you want to send the invite now, and we'll mute you both. And yeah, good luck.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Let's click those buttons. All right. Now we are good. All right, G. So we've got BalletMage going up first. And DK is going to be coming in second. They've both got the same background, which is really fun. What do you think of this starting sort of hand for Ballet?
Oh, I mean, I love the black-headed gull.
Yep.
That's an obvious first take for me, and I think it pairs really nicely with the American coot, to be honest.
Oh, 100%. They've definitely got a start to a little sort of tuck situation down the wetlands, that's for sure.
Yeah, now are you keeping any of these other birds?
The only thing I would consider is also the hummingbird. Because the only thing with the black-headed gull is if your opponent doesn't actually go for food, it can be kind of annoying. But what you can kind of do is pair them together and force your opponent to have food by the hummingbird, or they're rejecting it, and then steal it straight back off them. So you can take the hummingbird, but it does start taking up quite a few spots. You then got 2 food birds down in your water, and we don't really have any egg capacity right now. If they get anything that can sort of tuck and lay an egg, they're kind of all good to go now.
Right. It looks like that's the route they're thinking about over there.
Yeah, definitely. So this is kind of like excluding the gull, but this is kind of the way that I used to play the sort of tuck ways before the European expansion. I'd try and get 2 food. As much as I'd be tucking, I'd be trying to get some big birds and then just laying the big birds as well. Whereas these days with all the European ones, you can kind of just build a strategy without actually having to do anything. You can just play 5 birds in the waterland and tuck to your heart's content.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting. Did you see any bonus cards? Have they flicked over to that at this stage? I haven't seen anything.
I think I saw what is the stick nest one?
Oh yeah, the platform birds.
I apologize in advance if the names I have are not the accurate names on the cards. I sort of have my own little language there.
That is completely fine. There's a reason why we started calling worms squiggly boys, and that was definitely due to me. So
I love that.
It's completely fine. All right, so yeah.
What do you think of that pick?
Yeah, I think it's fine. I think it's going to be an interesting sort of start for them. Just to see, obviously, the first couple of birds they pull will be quite interesting to see if they can really set up the waterlands for the rest of it. But they have the ability, like, realistically, they don't even have to keep going waterlands if they don't want to. They can kind of pivot pretty easily if they get the right birds as well. All right, so we've got DK's set up. What do you think of the birds that they've got to start with?
I'm not seeing that setup. How do I see his screen?
That's right. It's probably a good idea for everyone. So if you can you see where the other faces are? And you can you see that there's like an eye on top of DK, and you can kind of click view stream as well.
Huh. Let me see this.
That's right. While you have a look, I'll just talk about it. So there's
I got it.
You got
Sorry.
it? That's right. And then can you see just the two screens now?
Yep, I got it. I'm sorry about that.
That's all right. All good. So the European bee eater is like actually one of my favorite new birds. I kind of love setting up with it. But I'm very surprised that they're going with the Say's Phoebe here, to be honest. I just don't think it's a great sort of starting bird. I would have 100% gone. I would have definitely got the white-throated dipper there. I think it's a great sort of starting bird. I probably would have considered just taking the 2 or the sparrowhawk there, just because it is a nice little 5-point bird that you can get down for nothing. So
Yeah, I think that, and I'm also curious about the decision to keep a seed.
yeah, for sure. Like, why wouldn't you keep the fish with the white-throated dipper, right?
Right, that would have been my move.
100%. And then interesting thing here is they look like they're straight picking up another grasslands bird, which is quite interesting. You would have expected them to get the white-throated dipper down. Like, it's not a bird that the little bustard's not a bird that people are going to want to rush for.
Right. Maybe because of the end of round goal, they were thinking that would be a priority.
Yeah, for
But-
sure.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's definitely a good call out. I feel like some people will do that pretty early to try and target an end of round goal.
Ooh, mountain chickadee is a good one.
Yeah, and to be honest, I'm not really even expecting BalletMage to pay it, but it's just a great bird to deny from your opponent with the kind of setup that they have.
Right.
But it does seem like a little bit of a slower start than what DK could have done, because if they'd just gone the bee eater and the white-throated dipper, kept the fish and one squiggly boy, they could have kind of had those the 3 birds down within the first 2 birds down within the first 3 turns. So
Yeah, and if you'd kept just the 2, you could have also gotten that little bustard down faster, so
100%.
it'll be interesting to see where they're headed with it, for sure.
Yeah, without a doubt. I do love this European bee eater though. Just that the rotation of the bird feeder, plus just being able to get that food out of the grasslands, is so strong.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite mechanisms, is that resetting of the bird feeder, because that can get so stale.
Yeah, because it pairs now so nicely with stuff like the indigo bunting and stuff like that, where if your opponent's not taking food, it can really just like block your whole food through the grasslands.
Right.
Alrighty, let's see how they go here. So you would expect them? Do you expect them to pick up the fish, or would you say that they're gonna more likely pick up something else?
What do they have in their food right now? I'd pick up the fish. Yeah.
So this is
Interesting.
where I potentially would play a little bit differently. Because of the black-headed gull, I actually start picking up food that I don't want.
Okay.
So that now when they take cards again, I actually often have the ability to then grab it, because they will grab the slug next time. Then when the food gets taken again, you grab the fish that time, so you can put it straight down, rather than the only one bit of fish going, it getting stolen again off you, and then
Sure. Yeah, waiting until you're ready to play to go
Yeah.
for the food that you really want.
Yeah, exactly. You end up having to like sort of think a couple of turns ahead with that black-headed gull. You can't just take the food that you want because there's only one there. You kind of have to, am I going to be able to use it straight away? Because if not, it's going to get stolen off me straight away again.
Right. What do you think of this white-throated swift? Would you take that if you were BalletMage?
I would definitely Yeah, I'd definitely consider it. I'd probably see what I'm going to pick up on the next 2 cards and then tuck one of the other ones away to pick it up, just depending on how things go. But it's a pretty easy bird to get down, and they're going to clearly have like an absolute ton of cards. So if they do end up pivoting to the grasslands, it's going to be pretty important for them. But we will see. We'll see how this sort of develops out for DK, that's for sure. I'm surprised they haven't got that white-throated dipper down just yet. It looks like they've really focused on getting that, no power bird down, or when played powers bird down. There you go, and they end up actually trying to deny the white-throated swift, which I suppose isn't the worst idea in the world, but they probably need to really focus on setting themselves up just as much as they need to on denying food.
Yeah, I think get that white-throated dipper down next, and then kind of pivot.
Yeah, definitely. Interesting enough here that BalletMage placed the eggs on the coot and not the gull. It's only a small thing, but I probably would have gone the gull, just because if you don't end up using them, you don't need to lay any more eggs for that second end of round goal. So it's just something that I would have definitely... I try and look ahead and where do my eggs need to be as to where I'm going to place them. Because with the setup they have, they're just not going to be laying eggs every sort of second or third turn. You wouldn't expect.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got to be thinking ahead, especially when you're, not focused on that grasslands.
Oh, without a doubt. So, looks like they are going to try and get that grebe down as well, which is an interesting sort of choice. It'll work really nicely if they end up getting, Chiff Chaff or something on the lights where they can tuck a lot of cards. But if they don't, they're just going to get like an excessive amount of cards, and it's a sort of -1 point play once you lose the egg and you lose the spot as well.
Yeah, that's an interesting one, especially with the black-headed gull there, which already doesn't generate points. You're adding another bird there that doesn't, so
yeah,
it'll be interesting.
Completely agree. No, that was the plan though.
All right.
So what do you think? We've got basically 1 turn left of round 1. Who would you rather be at the moment?
I think, the grebe's an interesting play, but I still think I'd rather be BalletMage. I love that card drawing and turnover potential there. It makes me nervous to not have any water birds down going into the second round for DK.
100%. No, I completely agree with that. And if there's like 2 birds that are really nice in the tray, even though you're going first, like you're not going to be able to grab both of them. Whereas... and your opponent's going to be able to grab as many as they want. I completely agree with you. I would really like to see that white-throated dipper down. Oh, hello. The Anytime Benelli.
Perfect bird right there for BalletMage.
So you're just going to discard it, though, at the end of this? Or just deny it?
Benellis?
Yeah, no, I'm just joking. It's okay.
Oh, okay.
That Australian sarcasm, just...
I had a moment. I was like, wow.
Just got to keep the game interesting, Just discard a Benelli,
Be gutsy for sure.
It would be. So I'm interested to see what sort of Ballet plans to do here. I'm surprised they're still sort of keeping on to that. Their sort of forest plan, so that are they expecting to pivot now and try and be able to get food from their forest, or are they just trying to keep birds that are going to suit their platform nest and their bonus card, and they don't really plan on actually going up there? It's definitely an interesting choice of birds that they've been keeping.
Right, I've been thinking about that because, you put those birds up there and they're not giving you extra food. They're going to give you a point here or there, but it would be an interesting pivot with the birds that they have.
100%. 100%. All right, well, I mean, as much as we both sort of said that we wouldn't have gone the busted, it did get them an additional 4 points.
That's true. At first round, you can't count it out. There's been a lot of close games recently, so.
Oh, 100%. And one thing I didn't actually think about with the bird that they played in the grassland, was it the... but that is the fact that they do have the food web expert, so the fact that it is just one worm was going to be always pretty strong for them. It is actually becomes a 4-point bird that also enables them to tuck and lay eggs, but they are really rapidly running out of egg space. They do just need to get that white-throated dipper down, and if BalletMage steals that fish, they're going to be in a bit of trouble because they're just not going to be able to get it down.
If you're BalletMage, do you steal the fish? Do you?
Well, I would
deny that?
always steal the fish, the food that's not the worm in this situation, because we know that they're getting worms, so they're going to get it very next turn anyway. So I'd probably be looking at trying to make sure that I'm stealing the food that they don't have easy access to.
Yeah. It's clever.
Especially,
That's what they do.
That's what they do, and it's not like BalletMage needs a worm desperately either, right? There's probably a few other things that they want. And now, DK's in a bit of a painful spot. What do they actually pick up now? And they're just struggling to get the food that they actually need to get this bird down. And that's where, like I said when you're playing someone with a black-headed gull, you got to try and think ahead. If they had have taken a different food source than what they needed, I wouldn't have known that. Like if I was going, I'm going to pick the other one, and they had picked up the rodent to start with, for example, I wouldn't have known that they don't need the rodent, and then they would switch it out. The rodent would have been taken, and the fish would have been picked up, and now they would be able to get that white-throated dipper down. So you've got to kind of play a bit of a mind game when you're versing the black-headed gull. It can kind of be annoying, but it is what it is.
Oh yeah, that's one of those birds that you love it if you have it. If you don't, you just have to settle in.
Yeah, 100%. But both of them seem to be like slowing down a little bit here. Even BalletMage, because they don't have that additional food source and only getting really one food per turn, they can't get some of these birds down that they want. They're not getting any tuck and lay egg birds, which would be so nice right now. So it is a little bit of a struggle for both of them.
If you're BalletMage, do you try to get the Benellis down quick so you can get some sort of energy going in the forest row, do you think?
Probably not. I think you can just... You've still got time. It's not like... If the white power or no power, or when played power is probably more accurate, thing was now and was this turn, then I'd consider it to make sure that I'm competing for that end of round. But it doesn't really do anything to your grasslands or your forest, right? It's just one spot. I'd prefer to see what other things come up. Ooh, puffin. Yeah, that short-toed tree creeper doesn't really suit them because they don't have that excessive amount of eggs to discard to use it. I'm still waiting for my time where I get that bird with like the pileated woodpecker. I haven't really been able to make that combo happen yet.
Yeah, that would be the pairing. I haven't thought about that.
Yeah, just have a whole heap of space and lay eggs, discard eggs, lay more birds, and run wild. Get a wood duck up there as well, and happy days. So, yeah. It's interesting now because it looks like DK just went and picked up the Eastern Screech Owl without doing anything else. They're kind of just like waiting for their opponent to give them some food. So they've done that just to try and get down and get their own food source, I guess, without laying eggs. which, again, it's interesting. I probably would consider just, even if you're not getting eggs, you're at least rotating the bird feeder really easily. So I'd probably still be laying eggs and trying to find the fish that way rather than doing it the way that they've gone about it. But we'll just have to see how this sort of develops out. It's definitely they've both sort of slowed down, so I do think that DK still has a bit of a chance to catch back up if they can just get this white-throated dipper down.
Yeah, I mean, it's all hinging on that for me. It's an interesting prioritizing getting that owl down instead of the white-throated dipper is interesting.
Yeah, definitely. It's just one of those ones where you kind of like, you do not want to ever be going into the third round without any wetland birds or, you know, killdeer, Franklin's gull at least, or some source of cards somewhere else.
Right. Although, I mean, one food for 4 points, you can do worse, for sure. Definitely.
You know, all they need to do is just white stalk it right here, right now, and, you know, things change.
Yeah. White stork, what a game changer.
Yeah, lovely bird. All
right.
I'm just gonna mute Kraz because they decided to come in and you know, start tapping away in the microwave. I wonder what they're cooking. Making sure that good on Kraz though. They're about to be playing next, and you know, you need to eat before you have a game. You need to have your full brain being out of focus. You don't want to be hungry playing a streamed game. It's important.
Yeah, some sports nutrition.
Exactly.
Happening.
Exactly. Alrighty. This game's starting to move along. So it looks like that BalletMage has decided to sort of pivot to be able to get some food for them to try and really change this game up. And when we were sort of starting at the talking about it when they first up the cards, this is probably why I would consider the hummingbird at the start, because you're just going to get so much additional food, and they wouldn't have needed to go to the forest to lay these small point birds down. They would just have all this food, a whole heap of card draw, and they could just be going, yep, Puffin, Benelli's, you know, Baltimore Oriole, and just get laying some absolute point bombs down really easily. As much as you're going to be giving your opponent a bit of food as well, you're going to still get 2 food to their 1.
Yeah. I think now, though, you know, you've got a strong forest, you have plenty of good bird options to play. You just sort of start prioritizing that forest, maybe get some eggs from the grasslands, and I think, identified he's got this end of round goal if he wants it too.
Oh, 100%. 100%. They've got 3 that they can do in the last turn, and happy days. I'm surprised that they put the scaled quail down. I probably would have gone with that 2-point bird that they've got, which is like a lay 1 egg anywhere rather than just the 6 egg spots. I think they've already got plenty of egg spots, and they're probably going to be laying a lot of birds in their last 12 turns. And it's just that... Yeah, what were you thinking?
Oh, I was just going to say, I wouldn't be surprised if both go down. I would play that grasshopper sparrow and then really compete for the next end of round goal too, you know.
That is definitely a good call out for that next one.
Because I think if you've got that 2-point bird, and I think it has a 2 egg capacity, you've either tied or you've exceeded DK's capacity by 1.
Yep, yeah, for sure. Good call out. And what does Ballet do now? Oof. There's a snow bunting, which is interesting.
Wow.
But you could probably leave it for your opponent, knowing that they might not really be tucking any more cards except for the Benellis, because they've just got plenty. And then make their opponent try and like react and grab it, and waste some turns.
Yeah, that would be a leave in the tray for me, especially with the birds I've got and the point potential I've got with those birds. Make them sort of take it. Okay, let's see.
still really want to get that white-throated dipper down.
I know. Right.
You bonehead. Sorry, I'm going to mute him now right after calling him a bonehead. Captain Awesome just coming in, unmuted. You're making noises. What are you doing to us, Captain? You know better than that. Some people.
All right, 2 fish in the bird feeder. That was some good fortune there for BalletMage.
Definitely. I think it was it, I think it might have been DK that picked up both of the fish, which would then it wouldn't matter if one of them was stolen to lay down that white-throated dipper.
Oh, was it? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right.
I do feel this game just continue to sort of slip away from DK, unfortunately. It's just one of those ones where Ballet's has kind of got this setup now that they can kind of just run with. I mean, they've got enough food to get down this puffin. They're going to be able to get the Benellis down really easily as well. They can kind of just do what they want.
Yeah, and if you're DK to see the eastern bluebird go down with that grasshopper sparrow, that sort of crushes your dreams of competing for this end of round goal as well. So
yeah, 100%.
That's probably frustrating.
100% for sure.
Right, so we're going egg, or we're going bird draw here.
It's just, unfortunately for DK, it's just taken too long to get this draw down, and they're just going to be way too reactive. They've got 8 turns left, and what are you going to do now? You know, it is going to be a bit difficult.
Yeah, although we're starting to get some point bombs for DK as well, so that could make it a little interesting. You know, with that woodcock and the heron.
For sure. At least that common swift's quite nice for the end of their turns when they're just gaining some squiggly boys that they can't do anything with. They're going to get a few more points. It's also a 7-point bird for only 1 food as well, which is nice. But yeah, it looks like BalletMage is now, like you're right, that they're just going to be able to lay so many eggs per turn. Both for this end of round, but also just for their last few rounds. They can get down the puffin, they can get down that Benellis and kind of just go ham on eggs really in their last 5 turns.
Now if do they need both Atlantic Puffin and Benellis for their bonus card?
How many they've got? Yeah, they do. They do.
2. Okay.
I don't remember what their second one was. Oh, I think the second one's Fishery Manager, so the Puffin actually completes both of them, which is pretty nice. So that Puffin already becomes effectively a 16-point bird minus the 2x, so 14 points plus a bonus card. It's a pretty amazing Puffin right there. I'm actually just seeing, and you know, I love Heartseed, but Heartseed has a different brain. Heartseed's calling the platform birds bacon nests in the chat. Have you ever called those bacon nests?
I've not. We call them stick nests in our house, so we're not as creative, I guess.
Yeah,
That's
I mean, I suppose you can say that it looks like a stack of bacon on a plate. I mean, Heartseed has like I said, Heartseed. If you ever want to have a good conversation, you can talk to Heartseed. You'll definitely never have had a conversation like it.
That's high praise.
It is.
That's the kind of people you want to talk to.
Oh, 100%. No, I've got a lot of time for Heartseed. They're a great person. Alrighty. So what is the plan if you're DK? How do you maximize the last 7 turns of the game? What do you think?
I mean, I think I'm gonna get that heron down next, to be honest, because then that builds you 1 more bird out in the water row. Presumably you're gonna have to go there at least once, you know, sort of see what you can make happen there.
For sure. You just think you might try and pick up a couple of big birds that might pop up and that sort of thing. You can kind of get some of the food there for it because you can discard an egg if you need to.
Yeah, absolutely. I would try to prioritize not having to go on my forest row if I'm them.
Yeah,
That
definitely.
seems like a turn you don't want to have to take.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see. So do you have a preference? Do you normally look at the board view that we've got Ballet up with, or do you normally look at habitat view as per DK when you're playing?
I always have to look at the board view. The habitat view it skews my perspective, so I like the board view because that's what I have in real life, you know?
Yep.
Able to see everything at once. Ooh, that's a good draw for
That
them.
is a good draw. For sure. Yeah, it took me a while to switch over. One of the first couple of streams I was on, I was actually still using habitat view, and I got absolutely smashed by commentators and viewers alike. But then I did actually make far less mistakes once I switched over to board view by just playing a bird and it popping up going, which habitat do you want to put this in? Is just was a massive game changer.
Right.
So, but I mean, I have to admit that habitat view is prettier, though. You know.
Yeah, that's a fair observation. Oh, so did they tie for this goal? No, okay.
No. BalletMage has got that one, and BalletMage is in a very strong spot here.
Do you see a road for DK to pull this out?
No. I really don't. I think that they're going to try and get one more bird down to get their Forester bonus card, which is their second one. Oh, there's a couple of nice... Ooh. I kind of expected them to take the spotted owl and the woodstock there rather than just randomly. I'm really surprised they're taking cards now. This doesn't make any sense to me. Like it really feels like a wasted turn. I'm not sure where they're going with this. Yeah,
I guess you think you're losing 3 if you're playing Benelli's. You don't know what your opponent's gonna do. If you feel like there are a couple birds there you want to deny, maybe.
I just felt like you put the Benellis down. They had about 5 cards, so they would have lost 4. They would still have a bird there. Just lay eggs, which you're going to be getting 6 points per turn on, and have 1 card for the end of round. Just go non-compete. Your opponent is going to want to have cards to tuck their Swift as well. It just seems odd. They could have just got down so many eggs, and they've got plenty of the spots for them. You know, they've still got 23 egg spots.
Yeah.
So,
Oof, if you're DK and you see that Franklin's Gull come out here at the last minute, that's got to be disappointing.
it would have definitely been much nicer earlier in the game, and might have kept this game close. But we will see how it goes.
So it looks like Ballet's gonna go for Baltimore Oriole here.
Yeah, so I think that they're looking at their enclosure bonus card, which is the one that they picked up from the Puffin. It only needed 1 more bird to do that. Which, look, it's not the worst strategy in the world. It's going to get you an extra 3 points. It's a big 9-point bird. Personally, it's not the way that I would have gone. I think you probably would have maxed out by just doing the Benellis in the grassland and then laying eggs. But we will just have to see how that goes.
Yeah, I think that probably gets down to, if you start calculating the points, maybe a 1 or 2 point difference between those 2 strategies.
Yeah, did you want to do any mathematics on the stream?
I'm not fast enough with the with the mathematics, but
I'm
I
sure
love
you're
seeing it when people do that.
I'm sure you'd be quicker than DV, you know? So, it looks like Mother Love has done it in the chat, saying that it's sort of 16 points to 18, and that laying eggs is better by 2 points. So,
Yeah, I think that's just one of the common pitfalls, right? Is it's always a little bit more fun to get the big birds down. I've definitely gone that way myself multiple times, so
100%.
I feel them.
Yeah, I think we've all done it. Ooh, don't skip that. There we go. So what does DK do with this last turn? You're only going to get 1 egg. You've got 1 bird. You can't tuck it. Are they going to play They can't even play the cuckoo because then you lose 3 points that you're gaining the 4 for the forester. I know it's a bit of a interesting conundrum that they're in. Unfortunately, they just couldn't. The black-hatted gull was really sort of just MVP for me, and really just sort of screwed around with what DK's strategy was going to be.
Yeah, I mean, I think you've just got to go eggs here.
Yeah, for sure.
Unless... Yeah, because you can't beat him out for end-of-round goal either, so...
Yeah, no, I completely agree. We will... Interesting. So they've completely given up on that end of round to gain the 4 points from Forrester. So they get 8 points from doing that, I suppose, rather than potentially 5 points from laying eggs. It actually seems like it's probably the best play, to be honest. It always annoys me a little bit that yellow-bellied cuckoo doesn't play for Food Web Expert. I mean, it's just... You know, there's only squiggly boys there. It just happens to have an omnivore as well. I just wanted that one to count. That's just my side.
Although by playing it, you know, you're denying your ability to tuck those 2 cards at the end, right? So, I don't know.
Yeah, but you're probably not going to tuck it if you were going to go eggs anyway.
But the 2 for the common swift.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That is true. Alrighty, let us bring our opponent, our 2 players back in.
Alistair.
Welcome back, Ballet and DK.
Yes.
I hate the black as gold.
It definitely sort of was able to knock you around a bit at the start. Just every time you went to pick up food, you just weren't able to do what you needed to do.
Yeah, I didn't
hate that bird.
Oh man.
Yeah, definitely rough. But congratulations, Ballet. How'd you find the game?
Very, very frustrating. It's like I felt like I had obviously a very strong wetland. I had a good drawing engine, but wasn't finding anything that would help me really generate points or get food other than the black-headed gull. I wasn't really sure which direction I was heading.
For sure.
And so it's like, wow, I was kept looking over my score, and I think somewhere in the 3rd round I had 20-something points. I thought this is really embarrassing on the stream.
Yeah.
That's always how it works. The one game you stream, right?
For sure.
So it ends up and it wasn't horrible. But still, it's like, wow, okay.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, for sure. Having to spend those extra turns can be frustrating.
Yes, very much so. Very much so.
I hate it with like 11 cards in your hand, and they're all useless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Exactly.
How'd you find your first sort of streaming experience there, DK? Obviously, the game didn't quite
it was
go
good. I mean, I'm right now, so I had to find a secluded spot, but it's good.
Yeah, awesome. Well done.
Yeah, I mean, it was a well-played match. I think you both did great. made for some interesting watching, so thank you.
For sure.
Well, I hope the people watching enjoyed. It was certainly nerve-wracking, but fun to play. So I hope there's some good commentary to go along with it. Like what the hell is he thinking?
There's always that sort of stuff. It's always just a little bit
Had a
of
good time. There was some math calculations happening in the chat, and That was a lively crowd. So
Yeah, 100%. Well, I've tried to record it, so I'll see if I can get Flan to put it up, and then you
Chop on
guys
right
can look back at it a little bit later.